yeah, it's just out of this respect. And I think that we have a lot of similarities, but that doesn't mean I'm not like, murder's always bad. It's like, well, if you're hunting, like this is the circle of life. We need to eat, and it can be
Yeah.
done in this beautiful, respectful way. And I think all these factories are doing it in a horrible way and stripping
And
animals
treating
of
them
their,
as products and not living
yeah.
beings. Yeah.
And then we're so disconnected of like, oh, we don't even know where the meat we eat is from. We don't know what the animal looks like. And people are like, I don't want to see, a chicken be slaughtered. Well, I'm like, well, if you're eating chicken, you should watch it be slaughtered because
Yeah.
that's the reality of the situation. If you don't want to see that, then don't eat it. I don't know.
No, you can't be paying for it to be done behind closed curtains, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's not that doesn't but those people are a lost cause in my opinion, the ones that don't even want to know about it and are disgusted by me cutting like a fresh chicken breast. Like I'm if their parents couldn't raise them, I can't. I'm done with them. I'm not That's not my target audience. They're somebody else can come and influence them, but my target audience is for people that are like curious about like they want to know. They're coming at me with
Yeah.
questions like, how do you properly kill or dispatch a chicken or goat? Because we don't like the killing process. Like us hunters, like
Right.
legitimate hunters, that's like the hardest part of it all for us. And we do everything we can to minimize the animal's suffering, which is why we sight in our scopes. Like I have a 22 caliber long rifle for small game, and I practice
Right.
all the time whenever I can, like especially before I go on a hunt. I'm not like in a rush to kill and shoot something because I want to prioritize getting a humane shot. So that's like a big part of it, and that's like the angle we're going at it with. It's like
Oh, it should be. Yeah.
and when you hunt an animal, you put food on your plate by hunting it. That's like the deepest form of connection. This and everybody can't be a hunter, so everybody else that wants to connect, they can do so by buying from regenerative sources. You don't have to actually do
Right.
the hunting, but you can do that. You can source your labeling and it's not that much more expensive. Like you're paying for what you get, and it's
Hmm.
such a nutrient dense piece of food that it's worth the extra 20-30% increase in cost.
I
Um,
completely agree. Well, and I think that would tie down to people's money mindset. But if you're buying all this cheap stuff that is filled with stuff that's going to get you sick, you're
yeah,
going to get sick and pay for it in the long run. So,
yeah. But yeah, it's a heavy topic, and I don't think it shouldn't be because like we're talking about it right now, and I feel like we're going about it in a more logical sense here. Like how you just mentioned, we should be harvesting from the ecosystem instead of factory production. Makes me think of, I just want to share the sentence with that Joel Salatin told me. He's a regenerative farmer in America, and we did like one of these type of interviews. And within that interview, I learned so much from him. One of the things he said was the North American continent can produce enough food, like the land can produce enough food to feed the human population. It's just, it can definitely do that, actually, he said. And it's just a matter of changing our systems that are already in
mm,
place. Yeah. Because nowadays you can just go into a Jack in the Box and you got yourself like this piece of meat that just, you have no idea where it came from. Such a disconnect. Whereas
yeah.
if we were doing it how indigenous peoples did it on the continent, it was like you would literally do everything to get that meat. You would have to literally hunt for it, which is a
Hmm.
deeper connection than that.
Yeah, we had a similar like talk about that and how like a lot of Westerners will be like, "Oh my God, how dare you kill an elephant? Let's put like these rules on. You can't, hunt elephant." But like the indigenous tribes of the area, like they would hunt one elephant and it would feed everybody. They'd use every part of the elephant. It was super sustainable. To deny people access to practice their culture that has been practiced for thousands of years because we're somewhere else thinking that some animal matters more than like like it's just
Yeah, it's not
it
it's
was
not
just
the individual animal that should be prioritized over the whole system here. It's like
yeah, we're all
everything
connected.
dies. Yeah, everything dies.
If it's done sustainably in a way, it's like okay. And we had to talk too even about how about like hunting and how there's ways to hunt like sustainably, obviously, as you know, and then how putting all these like laws and frameworks over what you can hunt and Africa has like actually made things worse and not sustainable because now there's
Wow.
more of a drive for people wanting, I just want this leopard, give me the leopard, and they like won't follow the rules. They're doing things illegally, or people are like just taking a leopard and putting it somewhere to be easily hunted where it can't defend itself, but they're staging it for
That's not
foreign
fine.
people.
Yeah.
Right, where it's like, no, but if you allowed it more sustainably and having like, okay, there are certain times of the year or having some parameters over like which leopards or whatever or how many, it could be done, it could be improved because like people aren't going to stop doing whatever is going on, and putting laws around it is just like causing people to be sneakier.
Yeah, because
I
every
do think.
animal, like as long as it's sustainable, we should be able to connect with it in that deep sense of where we are also part of its ecosystem. And as
Right,
omnivores, if we can eat it and if we can use every part of it, like that elephant probably you just said supplied everybody in the whole community.
right.
And one issue we were dealing with was in Amboseli National Park. The elephant populations were super high, and one elephant has such a impact, such a carbon footprint or impact, you could say, on its ecosystem. Like it's an elephant, it's 10,000 plus pounds. So if you have an overpopulation of elephants, it's literally woodland destruction.
Oh yeah.
Will prevent regeneration. And elephants are great. They're so intelligent. They should have, I think they should have their own laws, and but that's like a whole nother topic. But anyways, if you have too many of them, they're just going to cause a massive imbalance in the ecosystem. And like you got to
Mhm.
protect the ecosystem and not individual animals because that's anthropomorphizing. And Western conservation, in my opinion, I get so much of anthropomorphizing vibes from it. It's like, don't do that and all this stuff. And it's all coming from people that have never actually connected with nature. That those are the people that are saying that type of stuff. So it's frustrating, but I also go at it at a different way, at a different angle where I just explain it. That's why I love these podcasts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I used to, I've kind of like constantly flip-flopped on my whole like mindset on things because I used to look at like a really I can't say that word,
That's hard to say.
anthropomorphize.
I stumbled it
I
too.
know, I can't say it, but you know what I'm saying. I used
Yeah.
to do that all the time. And then as I was learning what I learned with dogs, I was like, okay, I should stop doing that. And then actually now I'm like, I kind of take or subscribe to both to a degree of I see the similarity in all life and all living things and also acknowledge differences.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, okay, I'm not going to project my human feelings necessarily, but also I think there's a consciousness in a lot of life, and that's a philosophical belief I have. But
Yeah.
it's so how I kind of go about it is I'm like, oh, I would want to